Good evening, happy Friday, everybody. TGIF for all you corporate people out there working hard today. And I was on the phone today with somebody. They were still working like 6 o'clock, calling me up for some deals, doing some credit repair stuff. So I wanted to give a big shout out to the Boston Red Sox. I'm setting the intention that baseball season is going to be starting by the 15th. So I was thinking about the feedback. So I'm going to talk a little bit about feedback today. I got 6 things I want to share with you today from our Zoom meeting call this morning. A good friend of mine, Jeff, reached out to me and asked to get on a Zoom meeting. I said, yep, if I don't have a phone call going on, I'll hop on there with you. And the value I received, I'm going to share it with you guys. Good to see you, Ramsey. Good to see you, Georgia. Continuing every single day to show up in life. I'm just finishing off my work up here doing push-ups the proper way, John Crinian. TGIF, everybody out there, happy Friday to you entrepreneurs, because as entrepreneurs, we work 7 days a week. I just keep going, you keep going. And I know your brother Ramsey down there is, Ramsey, your brother down there, Khalil, is working his butt off. So I got my lemon in my drink, so I'm going to give a shout out to my good friend, Kelly Precourt. She says, don't drink out of the plastic bottle. So Kelly, I have my glass here today. Thankful for the feedback. So one of the things I want to talk about was feedback today and constructive criticism, right? Because I could have easily said, oh, she's talking about the bottle I'm drinking. No, but the reality is there is a lot of chemicals in that plastic bottle. And I do drink a lot of water out of plastic bottles just because it's convenient. But whenever I have the opportunity now, I'm going to think about Kelly with that feedback she gave me, Steve, and to drink my lemon. As you can see that in there with warm water, that's good for fighting off any kind of virus, any kind of cold, any kind of bacteria. This is something we should be doing every single day. So I believe that all this stuff that's been happening these last, I think it's going on like 5 weeks now, this is all going to become a normal place for us. So then we don't have to worry about any of that crap. Our bodies and our immune system will be nice and strong to fight that stuff off. So cheers to you guys. Happy Friday. Thank you, Kelly, for the feedback. And I have 6 amazing takeaways from today's Zoom meeting. So thank you, Abby. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for everybody that was on the call. There was like 104 people on this Zoom meeting today. And I was just sitting here going through these different videos and what we were takeaways from each of the videos. So I'm just processing. I'm writing down my notes. And I had like 2 pages full of notes. So I'm going to share those with you, Eric. I'm going to share these with you, John. Yes, feedback. All feedback is good. Most of us just want to hear the good stuff. That's what I said the other day about my Rise as One book. If you want to make a comment on my Rise as One review, go review it, because I need that feedback for the next book. Because there's going to be more books coming up behind that first one. Rise as One, The Spiritual Awakening, is on Amazon today for $5. I suggest you go out and pick that book up before we increase the price. Had a great coaching call today with my real estate students. And the knowledge, I'm just tapping in. Here's the thing, guys. As you teach, you remember the things that, and Steve knows about this back at school. I did automotive classes. We did major appliance repair classes. I did carpentry classes. I did electrical classes, all this stuff. Until you go back and start teaching other people this, you trigger that memory. That memory never goes away, Juan Carlos. Good to see you guys here for logging on. Thank you, Francine. I have 6 powerful takeaways for you guys. Some of the stuff's going to blow your mind. I know you guys like, Joe, you're on here every day. You're on day 114 of 366. I'm getting so much value, so much content, so much knowledge from these Facebook Lives. Thank you. So I'm looking to roll out a new platform where we can share this with Instagram, we can share this with LinkedIn, and we can share this here simultaneously, because I know there's a lot of people out there suffering. That is the reality of it. I saw on Facebook the last 2 days a bunch of people passing away. We have to pray for those people. Be thankful for one more day to be here, because that could be us tomorrow. You never know when your last day is going to be. So every day you show up, you just get better than you were yesterday. I was just sitting here thinking about all my veteran friends. So check this out. Kathy and I picked up this thing. Check it out. It's made out of metal. To all my Army friends out there, there's a Vietnam veteran made this out of metal. You can back it up here. Pretty cool. So I was just unpacking some of my boxes up here in my weight room, and reminding me of a trip we took out to Denver, Colorado, for all of my fellow veterans out there. Now the veterans are even going to be including our first responders, our police, our fire, our doctors, our nurses. These guys are on the front lines. We got to recognize all those people and send love to those people, send protection to those people, send love to their families for the ones that are passing away right now. They're going through a lot of heartache, but we all have a born day and we all have an end date. What we do between that is up to us. So today I wanted to share with you the 6 things that I took from this Zoom meeting this morning. I got invited at like 9 o'clock in the morning for a 10 o'clock Zoom meeting. I went through my schedule. I looked at myself. I said I had something scheduled for like right around that time frame, and never came through. But as you can see, in my book here, I take all these notes and journal those things down. And I use different colors so I can break up the days and keep track of things, but I'm so present and so focused. And one of the things we're going to talk about here in these 6 takeaways is that, Beth, how present you can be, Eric. Good to see Eric. Eric was on that coaching call today. A lot of great content with that real estate coaching. A lot of great content with that membership site that we just rolled out. We'll share more of that with you here in a minute. So Zoom meeting with the Breakfast Club this morning. Over 100 people were on that call. A lot of great feedback from the participants. I do get other coaching calls during the week as well, so I'm constantly getting feedback from people, constructive criticism, and we all need this information. We can't get better if we keep doing the same shit over and over again, and that's what the first thing I'm going to talk about here. It says, in one of these videos, the guy said, 75,000 thoughts come into your head. 91% of those thoughts are yesterday's thoughts. So how are we supposed to get better than we were yesterday if we're still thinking about the same stuff that we were doing yesterday? When he said that, I'm going, okay, so my first thing in my mind says is, how do I convert that 91% into 90%? I want to lower that number. Let's make that 10%. So even between now and next month, now and the end of the year, now and next week, how do I increase that 9% number, which is the creative juices that we all have inside of us? How do we increase that number from 9% to 10%? Just 1%. 1% in the growth mindset we've been talking about the last couple of days. Good to see you, Lucy. Good to see you, Brian. Good to see you. So how do we increase that number from 9 to 10, just that 1% increment, that one step, that one notch on the dial, just that one little degree to get to our growth and our expansion state, our higher level of consciousness, our higher level of awareness. We'll talk more about awareness here in a minute. Second thing was, do you ever think about what you think about? I said, this guy's got some good stuff, man. I'm liking this. I'm sitting there going, do you ever think about what you think about? And that's a lot to do with meditation. So Eric knows a lot about this. I don't know how many of you guys, if you guys meditate out there, please post in the comments below. Let me know if you meditate out there. So when you think about what you think about, that's meditation basically. You become the witness of your thoughts. So visualize yourself just sitting back onto like a bank of a river, and the river's flowing, and you're just going to witness what's happening. Do the same thing with your thoughts. When he says, do you think about what you think about, it's the same exact thing. That's a powerful insight, because now you're saying, you know what? I was thinking about yesterday's thought. Joe told me about that 91% thing. I'm not going to think about yesterday's thought. And then also he talked about the day before that thought and the week before that thought. It's the same exact pattern over and over again. 91% of the times we bring the stuff from even our ancestors, our great-grandparents, our grandfathers, our parents. We bring all their information with us into that number, that 91% number. So how do we lower that number, get rid of that thing? But how do you think about what you think about? That's meditation. 3-minute meditations. Yes, John, absolutely. Lots of gold in there, absolutely. This thing is absolutely powerful. So then, after that, he goes, be intentional with your thoughts. Create a vision or a vision board or a combination of the two, and then create a power statement is what we do with our meditation, or an affirmation. A lot of you guys heard about affirmations. So create a vision, and then say what you want that vision to manifest. So the first thing you do is you create the thought, then you create the vision, and then you speak it into reality. I know Daniel Barris, when you watch this, he just created a vision board, and he does power statements to his vision board. I know Eric's looking for a new house. We talked about this today in the coaching call. I said, I'm visualizing a 4-bedroom colonial, 2-bath house with a 2-car garage on a nice level lot in a nice neighborhood. You put that on the vision board, and then you say your power statements. I'm going to manifest a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. I'm going to manifest a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. You start saying that over and over again, and you will manifest those things. Powerful insight. Number 4, good to see you, Dawn, logging on here. Good to see you, Jorge. Number 4 was master time by living in the present moment. We talk a lot about that on here. Being present, being right here, right now, in this present moment in time. That's called the flow state. To be in the flow state is when everything is effortless. There's no stress. There's no trying to achieve something, no forcing something. You're just in the flow zone. You're just in that state of being. Human beings is what we are. Most of us are human doers. We run around like firemen with fire hoses, just putting out the next thing that comes up on our task list. The task list should be prioritized every single day. The most important thing should be at the top of that list. Most of the time, just say, I'm going to do these 3 things. And once those 3 things are done, then I'm going to go to the next items on my list. But we get so overwhelmed. I know many of you guys out there are parents and kids, and the kids are home, and you're trying to teach these kids all this stuff, and the kids are screaming and yelling, and they're not happy. They want to go out and play, and you're hungry, and you didn't have your coffee yet, and your hair's a mess. You haven't got a haircut in months. I get it. I get it. But what he's saying here is be present. So if you're in that state, you say, you know what? It's a little bit overwhelming now. Time out. Kids, everybody, let's get into a circle. Put on some kind of a cool song. We're going to just sit still here for 3 minutes and then guide them on a quick little meditation. I got more of this guided meditation stuff in our app, the free 9-day meditation challenge. You can go to the page of the Rises One page, Rises One group page, or my personal page. There's a free app on there for doing meditation if you've never done meditation before. Do this with your kids. Do it with your husband. Do it with your wife. Because most of us are running around that fire hose just putting out the next fire. Wherever the emergency is, that's where we run to, and that's exhausting. Way too exhausting. So we got to sit back and just say, hey, what's the priority here? How do we diffuse this energy? Because energy is everything. We talked about this. We create this high-level anxiety. I had a call from a guy tonight. He said that he's getting very depressed. The first thing we got to do, you want a good antidote for depression? Get your physiology right. Go do some exercise. Go for a walk in nature. Do some push-ups. Do sit-ups. If you got some kind of a disability, ride a bicycle. Do something to get the energy up in your body. Because the brain's going to try and quit on you at 60%. We start doing something, get a little bit tired. All right, I'm stopping. But the brain quits at 60%. Write this stuff down, guys. I can't preach this enough. This is so important to utilize in your life. This isn't for Joe. It's for you. I'm just sharing the wisdom that's coming through me. And I know Eric was talking about, I need to go out there and ground myself. I'm just downloading this stuff like crazy. I got so much content. I used to just sit here and just spew it all out. Now I'm methodically going through this so people can understand it. I'm starting to slow down to speed up. Number 5, 60 chemicals make up our bodies. 96% of those in the human body are 4 major ones. So 96% of those 60 chemicals are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, so there's 60 chemicals, 96% of those chemicals are those 4 major ones that most of us knew about that from science class, are in our bodies. My mind goes, what are the other 4? What's the other 4%? What do those chemicals do to the body? Are they oxytocin? Are they serotonin? Are they cortisol? So we have these feel-good chemicals that give us a better immune system. Or we can be stressed out, putting out fires, running around from task to task, not in that flow state, running around, putting out those fires, getting all stressed out, getting all worked up. That's releasing cortisol into the body, makes the body weaker, makes the immune system weaker, makes us stressed out. And that's where a lot of us are getting to that angst mode. We're getting to that depression mode. When are they going to let me out? When can I get out of here? So now our mind starts focusing on those 91%. You see how this works? 91% was yesterday's thought. When do I get out? Tomorrow you're going to be saying, when do I get out? Sunday you're going to be saying, when do I get out? And you're creating that stress in the body. You're creating that angst, that depression. Go out there, do something physical. Get out of your mind into your body. Make the mind go to protect the body. Push it beyond what's going to be pushed. I'm not a doctor. If you got heart disease and stuff like that, full disclosure, don't go out there and have a heart attack. Joe said to go exercise, and I went out there and I blew out my heart. No, don't do that. I'm talking about if you're healthy and you're sitting around the house, and you can go outside in your yard, run around the house. You can do a power walk. You can go out to a park. I know a bunch of the parks are still open across this whole country. Go out there and walk around, Sarah. Good to see you, Jeff. Thank you guys for checking in. Seen somebody else log in here too as well. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. Hello, Dawn. Good to see you guys. Powerful insight. So here's number 6. Acknowledge that we have those negative thoughts. And it goes back to being the observer of these thoughts. But the one thing is, do not allow those thoughts to become your identity. We all get the negative thoughts. We all get the feelings of angst and worried about the future, what's going to hold right now. It's okay. It's cool. Recognize that. Be the observer. Sit on the side of that bank. The water's going by. There's a thought, a couple negative ones going by. But don't take that on as your identity. because that's going to lower your vibration. That's going to lower your immune system. That's going to increase your stress level. That's the least thing we want to do right now in a time of a pandemic or any kind of, whatever they're calling this thing. It's real, it's out there, people are getting sick from it. But if we keep a strong immune system, I can tell you one thing, you will fight off any kind of a virus, any kind of a bacteria. Based upon your thoughts, smile more. If you smile, that releases those feel-good chemicals. So that 4% of the chemicals we just spoke about. So for you guys who are just logging on here, 6 things that we took away today. 75,000 thoughts come through our head every day. 91% of those thoughts are yesterday's thoughts, Wednesday's thoughts, Tuesday's thoughts, Monday's thoughts. They're all the same thoughts. We just keep bringing them forward into the next day. So now my mind says, how do I cut that off? How do I make that 91%? How do I make that 90%? The second thing, do you ever think about what you think about? That's a pretty deep question. And that, what we talked about here is being the observer of those thoughts. What am I thinking about? Why am I thinking those thoughts? Are those thoughts useful? Are those thoughts not useful? Next one was be intentional with your thoughts. Create a vision and or a vision board. I know a lot of you do vision boards. You do a lot of this. Good to see Sukata logging on here. Vision or a vision board, and then create affirmations or power statements around that vision. So the first thing you want to do is be intentional with your thoughts. What is going to serve me? What is useful? What's going to serve my family? What's going to serve my kids? And then create a vision board and power statements and or affirmations around that. Next one was master time by living in the present moment, right here, right now with us. Here we are Friday evening. You guys are all here logging on. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here saying, you know what? Some of this stuff makes sense. You know what? If it's going to make my life better, make my kids' life better, I better listen to this. This is some good content for you to live in peace. You've got plenty of time to rest in peace. Our challenge, including me, is to live in peace. How do we have more days with peacefulness, with more intention? The next thing was there's 60 chemicals that make up the body. 96% of those chemicals are in 4 things: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. So what makes up those other 4% they're not telling us about? And I'm like, it's got to be the good stuff. Because we already know this stuff here is what's giving us life, allowing us the blood to circulate, allowing us the organs to be fed. But there's some other secret stuff behind that. So I know Joe DeCina and Bruce Lipton, a lot of these guys, neuroscientists, these guys are deep into this content. I've been studying these guys for a while, reading their content, and I will share some more of that stuff as we go forward with you guys. And the last one was acknowledge that we're having negative thoughts, but just be the observer or the witness of those thoughts and don't take that on as your identity. You deserve more. You deserve to rest in peace, or live in peace. You deserve to live in peace. As it just turns 10 o'clock here, do you know where your children are at 10 o'clock? My phone light just dims down at 10 o'clock, gives you that night vision. You deserve to live in peace. Most of us fear living. They don't fear dying. Think about that. Go back and watch this a couple times. There's a lot of great insights right there. And some of that stuff that makes sense to me is going to give a whole different meaning to you. But whatever makes sense to you, utilize that for your benefit. Good to see you, Janine. These are some great insights. This is what I was just downloading because I'm so open to receive. My chakras, if you guys don't know what chakras are, my chakras are wide open. And I just receive and receive and receive. And it's endless. I just keep giving it out and giving out, giving out. But the reality is whatever you send out is going to come back to you. We call that the boomerang of life. Whatever you send out into the universe through your thoughts, through your words, and through your actions will not return void. So take these 6 things away with you. Thank you for the feedback, Kelly. Thank you for all the students that are signing up with the real estate education here. We're going to blow up some real estate. There's a bunch of stuff going to come down here. Pennies on the dollars in buying properties. I was sharing with the guys today, I bought a property down in Atlanta, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 8 minutes from the airport, next to 2 schools, a grammar school and a middle school for $11,000 on an acre of land. They're like, Joe, how do you find these deals? I said, once you understand how this game works, these deals happen. This happens to me all the time. I haven't worked in 3 years. I've been serving the men at the next level. I've been serving people over here, serving people over there. But now that I know that the veterans deserve better life at the end of their life, I'm coming to build with our teams senior veteran homes. And that's why I salute the Veterans Day. When I saw this metal plate, it was made by a Vietnam veteran out in Colorado. You see it says U.S. Army. As you guys know, I was stationed in the U.S. Army back in 85 to 89. So Michael King, when you watch this, thank you for your service. I talked to Michael a couple weeks ago. He's been sending troops overseas. He's been doing all kinds of logistics with this COVID thing going on. All the troops, and you can think about that being in the military right now. All their bunks are right next to each other. How stressful that must be for them. They're already putting their life on the line for us. And now they're all hoarded together in a tent over in Afghanistan and Iraq. They're hoarded together in all these barracks around here. See, most of our barracks we had, they were like 3-story, 4-story buildings. And we're all in the same building. Same air conditioning, same heating systems. That's stress. But the reality is once you raise your level of awareness, your level of consciousness, and be present right here, right now in the moment, you can get into that flow state and it takes some of that edge off. And that's the space we need to operate every day, especially with all this craziness going on right now. As I was telling the guys on the Rise as One group today, you're like your Etch-a-Sketch. Remember that back in the day? And the Etch-a-Sketch, those little red things, and you shake it and you can go up and you can draw the lines. God just shook up your Etch-a-Sketch. Now it's time to create a new. Right now we're at a neutral space. We're not at positive, we're not at negative, we're right here at a neutral space and a nice calm space. Start thinking about a vision board for you going forward is, if my job is no longer there when I go back, what do I want to do the rest of my life to live in peace and make a living doing what I love? There's a ton of opportunities out there. I'm going to be coaching a lot of this stuff with the Rise as One membership. These people are going to be on fire learning this content. I'm going to go more and more depth. This is kind of surface level what I'm sharing here. We're going to go deep into this stuff, Lewis. Good to see you. Because this is what we all need to do, is raise our vibration. Collectively, we can raise the world's vibration, and then when it's all said and done, together we will rise as one. And that's how it's going to play out. And you can't make this stuff up. 4 years ago, that message was sent. 14 months ago, he said we're going to have a spiritual awakening. Rise as one, the spiritual awakening. Here we are, rising as one, having a spiritual awakening. So thank you guys for awakening with me. Thank you for taking these notes and taking down this content. Thank you for all of you for continuing to show up. I honor you. I know it takes a lot of courage, a lot of guts to get on here and put your name on here. There's a lot of people just sitting back watching this. When you guys are ready, I got a picture here I'm going to share with you guys. I was taking a picture the other day of all the stuff that was popping out of the soil that we planted. There's about 10 of them, 11 of them that are out of the soil now. When that first guy popped out and the rest of them are popping out now, whenever you're ready, we will be here. Just pick up a phone, send a text message, send a private DM. Joe, I'm ready to do the membership. Joe, I'm ready about real estate coaching. Joe, I just want some wisdom. Can you share something? I'm going through a struggle right now. Joe, please give me some kind of advice. I'm at my wit's end. And that's when we can give you a nice centeredness meditation. And those of you that have been through my meditations and been on the phone with me, you can know I can take it from here or I can bring it way down here. I'm like a chameleon. I can adapt, adjust, and execute on whatever's going on in any situation. I can live in the projects or I can live in a mansion. It doesn't matter to me. All I care about is who are you as a human being. If you want to hang around my energy and be around me, you got to be a good human being, number one. Number two is do what you say and be on time. Be impeccable with your word. If you say you're going to be there at 2 o'clock, as Jeffrey Combs knows, Jeffrey, when he watches this, we have coaching calls at 2 o'clock every other Monday. At 2 o'clock, I call him on the number. And this week, he recognized that. He says, man, you don't miss. I said, no, Jeffrey, because I know who's going to suffer if I don't get better than I was yesterday. Increase my number from 91% down to 90%. Increase that 9% up to 10%. How do I become more aware, more conscious, more present to continue to serve the people that I continue to watch? Because I know this audience is going to get massive. And I believe that's why the voice told me to start doing these messages, to hone my craft. But the reality is it's not my craft. I'm just the messenger speaking through me. So good to see you, Sheila. Good to see you, Luz. Good to see you, Gene. Good to see everybody logging on, Georgia. Everybody logging on here this evening. It's like 10 o'clock tonight when you guys have some time to yourself. Know that you have an opportunity to start visualizing who do you want to become? Where do you deserve to be When this breaks through and you're going to have to step back into your roles back in society to putting money on the table, food on the table, money in the bank account, so we can go ahead and live again. Because if what you were doing before and where society was before wasn't working, this is a great time to start anew. And yes, it's going to take a lot of effort. There is no get-rich-quick schemes. There's no learning nothing overnight, like I've been saying all along. One step at a time. Don't stress out the brain, because if you stress the brain out, it'll shut off, and then you're going to go back to yesterday's 91% thoughts, and then back to Tuesday's thoughts, back to last Thursday's thoughts, and all those old thoughts of the past will become your new reality, which is going to be the same shit you've been getting every day. And as you can see, that wasn't working for many of us before it was working. I've been saying this for years, that something's got to give. The path that we're on right now, we're just printing money, and all the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poor, so something's got to give here. And that is the reality of it. All I know is once we understand this and raise our level of vibration, level of consciousness, we can adapt to whatever situation, or we can become that chameleon. So thank you guys for showing up here. Thank you for taking this content. Thank you for taking this seriously. As you can see, I take it very seriously. And thank you for all the Risers One group this morning for that amazing prayer meditation we did this morning on the call. I felt the energy. I felt the love, and I'm sending love to every one of you. I'm sending healing to every one of you. Healing to the people in your families that are suffering right now, especially the ones in the hospitals all alone, by themselves, because they won't let anybody in. That's all of us collectively right now. Send that intention of love and joy and peace to those bodies right now, sitting there by themselves. They need to feel our energy, because you are energy, and you can send that love energy right through the universe right now to those people all by themselves. They deserve to have quality of life at the end of their life. We all deserve a better life. But we have to do it together. Keep showing up. They have not seen nothing yet. When it's all said and done together, we will rise as one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. I'm going golfing tomorrow, so don't call me during the middle of the day. We're going to tee it up. Have a blessed night, guys. Peace. Go feed yourselves this weekend. Enjoy your families.